I'm horrible, I know. So, today we're going to talk about Shang-Chi, except we're not. We're not going to talk about Shang-Chi. We're actually going to talk about the fact that Shang-Chi is in the theaters for a little bit, just a little bit, because it's in the theaters, and I gotta get that hashtag, gotta get that, like, trending, gotta get that, like everybody does, you talk about a Marvel movie when there's a Marvel movie in the theaters, and then it gets that trending and hits the algorithm, and everybody goes buck wild over some, Marvel thing. No, instead we're gonna get sad. We're about to, embark on a downhill sad journey, because we're gonna get sad. It's time to get depressed, everybody. We're talking Black Widow. How can you get depressed about Black Widow, you ask? You ass. Why are you not sad already? Huh? There's a lot of things to be sad about with Black Widow. So, but basically, why was the Black Widow movie so sad? Like, so sad. I know I'm wearing my little Fooly Cooly. I love this shirt, except for the style of the shirt. I just love the design. Probably want to remake this design. I'm gonna steal your design, dude, and put it on a better style of shirt, just so it's more comfortable. But it's Fooly Cooly and Scott Pilgrim versus the World, two of my favorite things of all time, greatest things of all time. Yep, goats, absolute goats, on my shirt. And me, I'm a goat. We're gonna do this. We're gonna talk about Black Widow, and I'm just gonna go Black and Widow, and Black and Widow. I might even go all the way around. Whoa, that'll cheer me up a little bit, because this movie was so sad. So, going into it, like, Black Widow's already dead. We already lost her in Endgame, and I knew. Unlike so many people, I guess. Spoiler alert! Damn it. I'm sorry. You got your spoiler alert late. You've been spoiled. If you haven't seen Endgame, good job, good life choice. I don't know. You are who you are, and that's fine. No, it's not. But yeah. So, like, she died, and and then we get a movie. Then we get her movie, and it's a prequel. Like, so far, the two female-led Marvel Cinematic Universe movies have been prequels. Not sequels, but prequels. They've taken place in the past in the MCU timeline. Before, well, I guess they happened before the movies that came out before them, right? It makes sense. You understand. You get what I'm saying? Because you're a nerd like me, and you know everything. You know too much about this. Man, I really look like David Harbour right now, I think, with my belly and the shirt. Maybe I should change. I don't. No, I don't. I wish I did look like David Harbour. At least then I would look like a movie star. Woo! I'm trying to make myself happy, boys and gals and monsters and basketballs and What's the other one? Tanks, Apache helicopters. What do you little trolls identify as? All you guys. And all the NBE and trans peoples too. Every gender. Come on in here. We're going to discuss this sad, sad movie. So we start from that principle. So we finally get a Black Widow movie, but it's after Endgame, which kind of wrapped up everything and pretty much wrapped up Black Widow's story in many ways. Now this is an attempt to retroactively wrap up her story even further. So let's get into it. Let's get into what this movie is. So this movie starts out, we get to meet Black Widow's family, Natasha's family, and let's just jump to the pivotal scene, and it turns out, oh, this isn't her real family. Like, we find out later in the movie that this isn't her real family, but then we also find out. We find out in, the very beginning, like, her dad's cool with her being part of the program, and he actually helps them knock her out. And then we get this funny, fun, fantastic montage where we take Nirvana music, we get some chick to cover it, and then we have this great, human trafficking, like, montage, and we get to see all these children, like, crying, sobbing, getting thrown into, what are they, train yard boxes, what are they called? Fun! So much fun. What a fun movie. This is such a fun movie. And you get this long montage of just, fun happening in the world. So that's exciting, the female. So Black Widow gets to, we get to really see what happened to her. And human trafficking sucks. I don't know if I want to see it in an MCU film, but it is what it is. So we get to see that. That's part of her story, is, like, obviously. But having to see it's really a downer. And then having to see them steal Nirvana's song, like, it's a good cover. I'll give them that. But at the same time, it's like, it's disappointing. It's sad and disappointing. It's like, that's not, like, Kurt Cobain wouldn't be cool with it. Like, Dave Grohl is cooler with, like, I guess. And I don't know about Chris Novoselic. Like, is he cool with it? I don't know. But definitely, I don't think that Kurt Cobain would have really been cool with his songs being used in a bunch of movies and stuff. Like, especially, like, corporate stuff like the MCU. So, I don't know, man. They're great songs, but still, can we keep them out of corporate sponsored stuff? Stop trying to get make yourself seem like you're cool. Like Kurt Cobain and Nirvana. You're not. You're a corporation. Just try to sell us your stuff. Market your stuff without ruining the art. Like modern rock art. That's not really modern anymore. Or rock art that's, whatever. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Because this movie's sad. It's very sad. So we get that montage. And then we get what comes first? Do we finally see Natasha, or do we see her sister get, like, unbrainwashed? I can't remember exactly which part goes first. I don't know. We'll start with her sister. So her sister gets unbrainwashed. So that's sad, because her sister goes off and becomes brainwashed in this program. So she's no longer just, like, part of the program. No, she's not brainwashed. She's, like, mind controlled. That's totally the wrong word I'm using here. So rather than her just being like brainwashed in a cult and then get unbrainwashed, she's being mind controlled. And so then like uh she gets sprayed in the face by her friend, by her homie, who she stabs and kills before before she realizes that's her homie, like that's her friend, that's somebody that she knows. And so she kills her. That's sad. Like they don't get to like, she didn't get to like pull her out of being mind controlled and then get to like bring her along, like get to go along. Also, that's like the one Asian character, right? In the film, is there another Asian character? Like most of the other characters are just like white people. So like that's disappointing, I think, ultimately. Like what the heck? Just kill her? Like, I mean, I get it. Like, it's kind of like, but there's still, it's kind of like she gets killed. She kills her homie, like she kills her friend that she like was, that tried to save her. And there's no time really to like mourn and deal with the fact that happened. So it's just like, guess that happened. Oh well, it is what it is. That's so like. But then we finally get to Natasha, Black Widow's situation after the events of Civil War, and she is gonna live off the grid by her damn self. She gets this guy that helps her, which she kind of flirts with, but nothing ever happens there, so we don't get to see her have like a little fling with him or something. Like she just winds up living, like going off the grid, stuck in a little trailer by herself, which is sad. Absolutely sad. Like she's a badass. Like why doesn't she have like friends? Like why aren't we getting to see her like, having a good moment with catching up with like this dude? You know what I mean? Rather than it being like, oh, he's gonna help her, and then he's got like, he kind of flirts with her, but then he's also really sassy about things and whatnot. She's sassy about things, and like we kind of have this like this like, I don't know how do you explain it, like this kind of tense scene, like they're trying to set up some sexual tension or whatever, but it's almost like they're building like, okay, well this is going to be a trilogy and they're eventually going to have a relationship, but then it's like that's not going to happen. She's dead already. So like, and there's going to be 2 more Black Widow films? Probably not, with stuff that I'm going to talk about later. I don't know. But yeah, that's disappointing. Like what the heck? Jeez, like it's just sad. It's so like overwhelmingly sad. I don't know why anybody that liked this movie really like, I don't think that they're thinking. That's the first thing. I don't think that they're really thinking about the movie, what the movie is, and what the movie's telling you. So then later on, her sister, Black Widow's sister, dang it, Florence Pugh. I don't remember her name. That's sad too. Like I literally cannot remember the character's name. Which is sad. Like she doesn't have like a code name or whatever. Like I guess if I watched like one of the Easter egg videos, then I would know more. But at least I learned, Florence Pugh. Or I think that's how you say her name, Florence Pugh's name. So like I think she did a great job with what she was given. I thought she was pretty funny. There's some funny moments in the movie. There's some good action. It's like, it's not a terrible Marvel film. It's a passable Marvel film, but it's very, very overwhelmingly sad. Like, and I left it like, oh, okay, when I initially watched it, I was like, hey, I liked it. It was good. Like, but then I started thinking about it. I'm like, I tried to watch it again. And when that montage, the human trafficking montage happened, and you got the really like minor scaled version, like it's sort of horrific version of Come As You Are. I think it's Come As You Are by Nirvana. Like, it's like, so my wife was like, we can't show our girls this, like, our daughters. It's like, they can't watch this. And so then we had to shut it off. And then that kind of got things turning in my head. And it's like, oh, you know what? This movie is really, like, it is pretty sad. Like, going into it. And I think my initial viewing was like, okay, it's, I don't know, I'm kind of iffy and unsure about it. What did I dislike about it? What did I like about it? So, like, and, it wasn't until later that I really, like, felt it, like, had the epiphany, like, this movie's just, like, sad and depressing. And it's sad because Black Widow is like I mean, Black Widow she's the only female character on the original Avengers MCU team. She's one of the coolest and the coolest characters. And a lot of other dudes, like, they'll pick, like, Thor, whoever, like Iron Man and Captain America over her. But, like, I don't know, every single movie that she's been in with, Scarlett Johansson, being there has been, like, amazing. And she always does a great job. Infinity War, though, like, it felt a little bit ridiculous in Infinity War at moments where she's, like, fighting all these gods and these crazy creatures and stuff. And, she's like she's a great fighter, but she's, like, at times it's like, oh, is she a super soldier or what? And there's some of that in this movie too. Like, is she, like, a freaking super soldier? Did she have the super serum or some of the super serum? Like, where's that backstory? Because she does some stuff in some of the movies that are they're very much Captain America, like, esque. She, like, has she been hanging out with Cap long enough that she's able to, like, be a super soldier? Or did she get a little bit of super serum or whatever, like steroids from the Red Room? I don't know. Is there something else? Okay, so then finally, Black Widow links up with their sister, informs her sister that they're not sisters. And so, like, prior to that, you're thinking, like, why didn't she ever go find her sister? And then it's like, oh, a sad revelation, they're not sisters. So of course she doesn't care. She doesn't need to go after her sister, or other sisters, from the Red Room, because, like, technically you could think of them as all sisters as part of this stupid, garbage, horrific program. So, and then, of course, we also, so there's those questions of, like, why is the Red Room still going? Oh, it's like Natasha doesn't know. So it's sad that's even sad. Like, Natasha thought that she got rid of the Red Room, but the Red Room is not gone. It got to keep going, and it got worse because now there was mind control aspects to it. So that's what? Like, that's like, number one, that makes Black Widow look bad because she, like, thought the whole time that she stopped the Red Room, but it was still going, which, like, that completely sucks because in everything that she did basically amounted to nothing. So, and that's one of the things that some people pointed out. It's like, why aren't we just watching the Budapest mission rather than watching this movie? Or why wasn't there more of the Budapest? That's, like, one of the things that you learn, I guess, in the film is, like, why didn't we get to see more of that. And I disagree a little bit with that, because, like, you know, you can like the Clone Wars all that you want, but the whole idea of the Clone Wars in Star Wars, the original Star Wars, was just this offhand comment made by Obi-Wan, or it was just this small mention made by Obi-Wan talking about Luke's father, how they fought in the Clone Wars together. And there was just, there was decades of people like wondering what the Clone Wars were like, and then finally we got, Attack of the Clones, and then you also got like the Clone Wars cartoons, and and there probably were some novels before that, but it took a while for people to be able to see the Clone Wars on TV or in movies, and not very good. They're not very good. I haven't seen all of the Clone Wars like animated series, but me personally, like, I'd rather, like, I don't know, Star Wars is cinematic to me, so like it's always been difficult to watch cartoons of Star Wars for me personally, because it should be cinematic. It should be movies. Like, it's difficult to watch. Like, it's not as difficult to watch like The Mandalorian, but it's very cinematic, so that's what makes it good. Is because it's very cinematic, even though it's a TV show technically, but it's an internet TV show. So like, it's kind of still in that wheelhouse. It feels very much like Star Wars, as opposed to cartoons that are not Star Wars to me. At least that's my trouble with. But so my takeaway with this is, like, if we see the Budapest mission, then all of our ideas on how cool of a mission it was will be like undone, and the mystery of what the Budapest mission is ultimately gets undone. And unless they make great choices and make it a really cool mission, it's not, there's the possibility of them completely botching and making a terrible movie about that mission, which they kind of did in this. So they did kind of show us some stuff from the Budapest mission, which is kind of sad, because at least from my understanding, maybe I'm wrong here, but part of the Budapest mission was she had to kill his daughter. Like, Black Widow had to kill, not Alexei, what's his name? The bad guy, the big bad guy's daughter. He had to kill her daughter, or use her daughter to blow up and kill him, but she didn't kill either of them, so like that's really sad. But so like, and then he, let's just skip ahead, like, he put a chip in his daughter's brain and was using her as taskmaster, and so like she had no free will, was completely mind controlled after the fact, and left scarred. And so that's sad. That's, what the heck? This is completely sad. Like, this entire movie is a tragedy. Like, how do you enjoy this movie? The jokes? Is that what gives you enjoyment? Because the whole thing's a tragedy. Yeah, and then we learn, that their mother was the one that got, the girl still in the red room, under the mind control. So like, not only is the dad bad, but the mom's bad. But they're not their parents. They're just fake parents, and they created these fake photos and this fake life. They celebrated all these holidays and took all these pictures, and Florence Pugh got to keep, all those pictures, take it with her, whatever, and enjoy her life, sort of after that, and always thinking about, I miss my family, I wish I could get back to my family, except she doesn't have a family, as far as we know, right? Except she does still kind of think of Natasha as her sister, because by the end we see her visiting Natasha's grave. which is great. Yay, fantastic. I guess there's a silver lining. All the Red Room girls get freed, so that's kind of cool, I guess. And then, but there's nothing really done with them. Like, we don't get to see any of their characters, personalities, get to know any more about them, and what the future holds for them, if I remember correctly, other than Florence Pugh's character. Like, maybe she'll bring in some of her sisters from the Red Room, who knows, into whatever she's gonna do with what's her name? What's her name? The Rain? No, that's not. That's way off. I'm horrible. I know. Miss Seinfeld, whatever Miss Seinfeld winds up doing, the VP president, VP. Is that the name of the show? Why am I talking like this? What else can I say in the Seinfeld? I'm horrible. I know. Is there anything I missed? Oh, Alexei goes to prison for some reason. Why? Just in prison. That's sad. He just gets stuffed in prison, but then he gets busted out when he's fat and old and bearded like this guy. So that's like kind of cool. And then he's obsessed with this fight he had with Captain America that now needs to be paid off. So like that's another like sort of mention that maybe we shouldn't see because it might possibly ruin, but the mystery of like, did that really happen? When did it happen? And which Captain America did it happen with? Are they setting up seeds for another Captain America? Are they setting up seeds for the multiverse? Who knows at this point? But it's gonna be cool, I guess, going in. Ha 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 ha. Yeah. I don't know. Marvel's like, okay, so Marvel's not bad. They're never bad. They're just sort of slight misses, slight miscalculations. Not Mr. Calculations, Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I'm not even gonna finish it. It's horrible, I know. And is there anything else? Oh, yes, the big thing that we find out, at the end of the film. Once you're done watching the film, the final credits, after credits, is that Scarlett Johansson is suing Disney because they broke contract with her by putting, or from her lawyer and her standpoint, they broke the contract with her by putting the film up on Disney Plus Premier Access. They're trying to get out of having to pay her millions of dollars that she was, expected to make in releasing the film theatrically. Which, I wonder how much, if the movie came out and it did $1 billion like Captain Marvel and Black Panther did, like, how much money would she have wound up making off of the film? It's, and then that's ultimately like kind of sad, like, and some, I don't, she got paid like $20 million. That's not that sad because there's a lot of women that don't get paid that much, but then there's also a lot of men in Hollywood that are paid way more than that, ridiculously high salaries for making, terrible movies. And so, this is not a terrible movie other than it's really, really sad. Like, it's a passable movie. You can enjoy the action and enjoy the fact that it's a movie and take it for what it is. And I think some people, the sadness, or the real the real feels just go over their head, or they just are able, because of the tone of the film, able to enjoy and have fun with all the sadness, like with all the tragic aspects to it. Like, this is like so comedic, it's so much fun. The tragedy is so fun. I love it. Yeah. But anyways, that's kind of, I think, all that I wanted to say. Or, well, I could say a little bit more. Like, Disney's kind of pushing back against Scarlett Johansson and saying, you're wrong, we're right. And they revealed her salary, which, wasn't public knowledge, and tried to use that as some type of excuse to get out of paying her, or whatever, royalties, or whatever it is that she's supposed to make extra off of theatrical sales. Yeah, like, I mean, they could have just done like, oh, well, okay, let's renegotiate and you get some cut in the Disney Plus stuff. But I think they're really just gonna, since you're Disney princess, like, here, like, like, here's a cut of the Disney Premier Access stuff, and allegedly, like, according to some sources, Kevin Feige's kind of mad and shaken by the whole thing or whatever. But Marvel hasn't released a statement. Kevin Feige hasn't released a statement. But, like, it's ridiculous kind of thing. And now, Shang-Chi, in the ultimate irony, is it's just going to theaters. So, like, I guess, what the hell? Like, that's the one that's going to be in theaters? When, I think the Delta variant hadn't had its global premiere quite yet, or at least its American premiere, when Black Widow movie was out, right? I'm trying to remember exactly when the Delta variant, but now it's here, and it's released. It's in theaters near you, so go see Shang-Chi and get yourself the Delta variant while you're out there. I don't know. But that's just a theory, a film theory. And shoot. Is it shoot? No, it's cut. Yeah. Is this really how we're gonna end this? Are you guys okay with me ending it like this, or you want a different ending? I can do some variants. I can be a variant, do a different ending, or I can just keep going. Turning up the cringe factor. That's fine too. It's up to you guys. Let me know in the comments down below, and subscribe, and like, and continue to support this belly, because I need all the food I can get. This is fun. I'm not so sad anymore. Thank you guys. Thumbs ups. No, I'm more blue, I know.